Hi everyone, welcome to Ziver Organiques YouTube channel. My name is Sunane, and in this video I'm going to talk to you about how I started my own skincare line, and what does it involve to actually start a new skincare line. I'm hoping to make this a series of videos where I share my journey and you can see the ups and downs of running a business. It's not as smooth sailing running a business, and when you're new and you have, for example, no big following, you're not an influencer, you're not a celebrity person, how can you actually bring something to the market? So I'm hoping to make this series a little bit interesting, and then you can also learn something from me. And if I do inspire you, you do let me know in the comments, and if you do have any questions, please do not forget to ask me in the comments. I'll come back to you as soon as possible. So first, I actually take some notes here, and I'm going to talk to you about what I did, what is it, the big things that you need to take care of. First of all, and the biggest question is why you want to start your own business, basically. With anything, it doesn't have to be skincare. Why do you want to start this business? What is driving you? What is your why, basically? What's causing it? What did you see in the market that you think that, oh, I wish there's something like this, so that's the first part that you had to identify. In my case, I basically work in finance industry, and the finance industry is very grueling industry, and I work as a data analyst, so I'm working with the numbers all the time, and with the long office hours, even pre-pandemic, I used to work like 10 hours, 10 hours every day, and on top of the commute, it is stressful. And I mean, don't get me wrong, it is a good industry, but it's a very grueling industry. The money is good, yes, of course, but I mean, and also the culture is a little bit like macho-ish culture. You can get a lot of like very ego-driven people, very ambitious people, very, sort of like, especially when you work with traders who are like, on the phone to you, and they're like $1 million to execute and so on. So why am I starting this this skincare business? Is just because all these grueling hours that I talked about, all the stress, I've been working in 15 years. I actually suffered quite a lot of dry skin because of being in the offices, and also eczema, and I had suffered also from psoriasis, stressful. I had like sometimes spots flaring up, and all this because of the stressful times. And with the healthy, and also I'm trying to eat healthy, but even though eating healthy, I felt like I need some external help. So I look at the products in the market. Some things I use help, some things I use actually made it worse, my skin. I had like breakouts and my pores getting bigger and all that. So I decided to, but not just because of these issues, but also I've been, I said to myself, I can do this, I've been bitten by entrepreneurial bug, So I looked at in the market, there were a lot of naturals skincare, and it's really up and coming trend. But not all naturals were actually fully natural. You can see like, even though it says natural, you have like polysorbates in it, ethexylene, which is like a bad preservatives and so on. So all these things for a while I've been in my head, and I decided to launch the brand. Second thing that you have to be very careful about after defining your why is your financing and budgeting, because every business needs investments. So you have to be sort of like, you have to have a regular income. You have to have a stability, like, because you're gonna run this business, you'll initially incur expenses. So to cover yourself up, if you have a full-time job, don't quit it. My suggestion is please don't quit your job, daytime job, if you have it. Work around it, see if you can have flexible times, or if you can do it, before, like in the evening or before you go to work, some things that you can do around it, at the weekends maybe. So think about, your regular income. Don't jump on it like straight away. I know everybody is saying like, if you want to be an entrepreneur, you have to, there's a saying like you have to jump out from the you need to jump from the plane while you're going down. You have to build a parachute and things like that. You can do that way if you want to blow your mind, like you can just go straight into it, but you don't know if it's going to work or not. So it's always good to have a bit of safety somewhere. So that's what I'm doing. I haven't still quit my job. I mean, I do run my business, but you know, I do get some income from it, but it's not going to be sustaining me. Another thing that, you know, you have to be careful, like having a really good stability in your life, because if you have too much simultaneous things happening, it may really distract you. So that's the thing. You have to think about your financing, your budgeting, and the regular income. Please do not, by all means, do not quit your daytime job just yet. The third thing is you need to do a lot of research. So you have to look at what's going on in the market. The best way to do this, and the way I do it still, I look at the online stores. And when I mean online stores, what are the online department stores are selling in the skincare department? And you can also look at the specialist skincare departments, like online stores like Cult Beauty looks fantastic, feel unique, and so on. Go there, look at the bestsellers, what people are saying, what people are buying. You can see, look at the data in there. Comparison, for example, you will see a lot of like hyaluronic acid serums is quite popular. What kind of prices people are paying for it? What is the expensive brands? What is the cheaper brands? And then this kind of gives you an idea where you want to be and what kind of products you're going to sell and what is going to be the pricing. So you have to think about that a lot. So look at the general market, what's going on. What are the expensive brands are doing? What are the cheaper brands are doing? What people are buying, what people are saying. Look at in these websites, look at the data, do your research, and then decide on it. Or at least not decide on it, make a draft. Actually, this is what I want to do. For example, you can do just lip scrubs or lip balms or hand balms and so on. And then lastly, where you're going to sell these things and how you're going to market it. And also the branding. This is the very three important parts that you need to look at it. As for where you're going to sell it, online is very popular, as you know it. So are you going to be online only brand, or are you going to be also in department stores? And another thing that you have to think about, when you decide to make the products, how are you going to make them? Are you going to go to a manufacturer, or are you going to go to and learn yourself formulating and make it yourself? So there are two different ways. If you're going to go to a manufacturer route, it's a more expensive route. You need a like really upfront capital, $10,000 to $20,000, maybe even more, because not all manufacturers are going to give you small amounts. If you're lucky, if you find a small amount working ones, small MOQs, what we call it, minimum order quantity. But a lot of them are, you need at least 1,000, 500, 2,000, 500, 5,000, so on. And that requires capital. So if you don't have the capital, maybe look into do it how you're going to make it yourself, like I did. I decided to do that myself, and I learned to formulate. I registered with a couple of online schools, and I decided, I graduated with one of them with an advanced diploma. So I learned how to formulate, what things are you need to looking for. Another thing that you need to really important is about the regulations. And, I also talk about that in my previous video, which I'll put the link down below. But as I said, I'm going to make a series of vlogs. So today I just kind of giving you a very overview of how can you start, what are the things that you need to look out for. And the next video I'm going to do is talk about the legal side of things, and the regulatory part of things, and also the branding. So yeah, so these are the main things, basically overview of how I started. My brand is still going at the moment. It's called Ziver Organics, as you can see from the channel. I'm a one-person at the moment doing everything, but it really gives me satisfaction. I'm really happy with it. Learning to formulate is really a joy. I mean, for me, it's kind of like I really forget myself when I do it, when I learn things, when I research it really gives me excitement, and I also feel like I'm bringing value to the market in a way, not market, but to my products. One of the main key things for me is to make my products as zero waste as possible. So this is very important for me because of the whole environmental pollution, plastic waste, we are drawing resources from the earth all the time, and how can we make it more upcycled and maybe using byproducts. So zero waste is a very important concept for me, and that's one of the things that I'm incorporating in my brand. So if you need advice, it's kind of like if you have some ideas, what I would suggest to you do before you even think about doing your brand, looks what's going on in the market. That's the first key thing that you should do. And also the financing, how you're going to budget yourself. So numbers are important, I'm afraid, because you're going to run a business and everything sometimes is about numbers. You can do your creativity, but don't forget it costs you at the end. I mean, packaging for me, for example, is one of the biggest costs, and I'm not sure if I can, I'm still like thinking in my head where should I upgrade my packaging, or should I actually completely remove it and do something else, like a new creative way for it? So these are the questions you need to ask yourself. But anyway, I feel like I dragged along, and thank you for listening me and watching up to here. If you do have any questions, please do post it down in the comment sections. And next week or the week after, I'm going to post an update with my vlog, because currently I'm formulating my new serums I'm going to do, and I'm hoping to give you a bit of behind the scenes of how I do it, and also I can talk to you about a bit of regulations. Hey, thanks very much for listening me. And I was just gonna say, have a good weekend and have a good day. And until next time, take care. Bye.